Some warm-up games that can be done on the beam is this ball and hoop game. You get everyone lined up on the beam and you interlock hands and you try and get the hoop from one end to the other while all trying to still stay on the beam facing the same way. The player at their end is going to hold onto the ball until it gets to the end, and then they're going to throw the ball through the hoop. This helps like the students with their balance and like teamwork and stuff trying to get the hoop to the end. There are different variations of this game that you can do to make it easier or harder depending on how the students are feeling. You can face the other way in the beam and play like a captain ball, tunnel ball type situation, try and get it over and under the head. But there's also a floor warm up game you can go through if students aren't as comfortable on the beam. It's pretty much just working on our dish shape and our front support shape. So we have two teams, the dishes and the front support. You split them evenly into two teams and they go and do those shapes on the floor. Where you have one person from each team go around jumping over the players to flip them to the other side, and the winner gets whoever has the most dishes or front supports. We're now going to work on our beam dismount, which is just a simple one. So we're going to start with hopping up onto the beam, facing the end of the beam. And we're going to start on our toes. And we're going to put our arms out to the side for extra balance. And we're going to do a quarter turn to the side and bring our feet together with our arms still outright. And then we're just going to do a straight jump off the beam. And we're going to land in our motorbike position. To slow it down, the first step is just starting on our toes, facing the ends of the beam, with our arms out to keep our balance. And then quarter turn to the right or left, standing sideways on the beam now. You're going to bring your feet together. And then you're going to bring your feet together and slightly bend your knees, swinging those arms upright to gain those momentum, bringing them above your head. And then you're going to land in your motorbike position with your back straight and your knees bent. This is what it's going to look like all together when you guys are jumping off the beam. We're now going to move on to the same straight jump we did off the beam, but we're going to do it running up onto a trampoline and then onto a crash mat. The premise is the same, but now we're going to be running up to the trampoline, launching off 1 foot to 2 feet, doing a straight jump in the air with our arms up, landing in our motorbike. Some students may struggle to get the height on the jump, so putting a hoop closer to the tramp or further away from the tramp helps launch from 1 foot to 2 feet to landing in the motorbike. So we're going to go 1 foot because it's really important to the 2 feet, bringing those arms from behind and then bring them up into your straight jump and then landing in that motorbike position. You ideally want your legs straight. You do not want to be jumping from 2 feet from the ground to the trampoline, or you don't want to be jumping from 2 to 1 foot onto the trampoline because you will not get that height. We're now going to move on to a forward roll. This forward roll there are some very safety considerations. You need to make sure their chin is tucked at all times, as this is a movement that is going upside down and onto your head and neck. So to start with, we are going to put a wedge there because it's a good starting point for students who don't know how to do it. You're going to tuck your chin and you're going to go into that angry cat position with your hands on the wedge. You're then going to want to tuck your head into your chest very deep and then kick your legs up and over to the roof, tuck your knees and roll forward. The momentum on the wedge will help you with your roll. But you're going to start in your angry cat position with your shoulders up and your hands on the wedge with your chin to your chest and head to the wedge with your toes. And you're going to kick your legs up over the head, over the wedge, and then you're going to roll down and stand up, bringing your hands straight up over your head. Handstands are our next skill we're going to be moving on to, and the handstands are a little difficult for students who aren't used to being upside down or have the shoulder strength and upper body strength to keep them upright. However, there are some ways we can get them started to go up. So we're going to start with bunny hops. So we're going to have our arms up and kick our legs up and out the back to the side. And we're just going to keep doing that, trying to push them further up to the roof, and we're going to try and bring the other leg up and around to meet them. So you're going to start with hands up next to your ears, nice and straight, and then you're going to bring your other, kick your leg in front and bring your hands down to the ground while kicking your other leg to the roof. That's the momentum that's going to try and get you vertical. You want to try and meet the other one up like a scissor action, so that's going to let's meet them and keep you upright. In this moment, it's helpful to have a spotter to be able to like bring your legs upwards to be able to get to that upright position, but not always needed. You can modify them to having a tuck handstand so your knees bend, or using a wall. This handstand skill can be used in this game as the wheelbarrow challenge. So you're going to have one player in their front support, while the other players picking up their legs, preferably either below or above their knee joint, not right in the joint. And they're just going to race to a hula hoop full of beanbags. So they're going to pick one up, then they're going to race to the other end while still in the wheelbarrow position, and then throw them into the goal at the end. This can be modified in any way, an obstacle course, a race, anything. So now we're going to join our handstand and our forward roll skills into one skill alone, and it's a handstand forward roll. Spotters are very helpful in this skill, as well as using a wedge to be able to keep that shape. So we're going to start with our normal handstand, with our hands going to hit right in front of the wedge there, and we're going to get our head lined up just at the top of the wedge, and that'll help us keep our chin tucked into the forward roll. So you're going to do those same kicks that you did to try and get used to the swinging your leg up. And then when you guys are going to want to go, just swing that leg up, meet the other one, and then you're going to tuck your legs, and then you're going to roll forward. One more, we're just going to kick our legs up and over and roll out of that. It is very important to keep your chin tucked, and when you're doing that handstand, look for yourself behind, or look for the marker that is behind you and between your legs. We're going to look at spot the difference here. So you can see Izzy here didn't roll. Her back just hit and she didn't tuck her chin to be able to roll forward. And as it then results, just flopped. Hunter, we have here, as you can see, his hands went flat and he also rolled on his shoulder, not over from his head. And his handstand didn't get upright. As you can see, we're going to do a spot the difference. So you can do this with any group. You can have two people doing the skill, and then you have your team running up trying to pick whatever spot the difference there is.